You look around, you see two kinds of people. The ones who eat and the ones who get eaten. That's the only division that matters in this world. Forget about rich and poor, forget about good and bad. It don't mean nothing. What matters is hunger. The ones who got it, they fight, they take, they survive. The ones who don't, they get swallowed up, they get left behind, they get forgotten. You don't want to be one of them. You want to make it, you gotta have the hunger. And if you don't got it, you better learn quick, or you're dead before you even start. Nobody's gonna hand you nothing. They say life is about opportunities. Yeah? Maybe for some rich kid who got his life laid out for him since the day he was born. Not for you, not for me. We gotta take what we want. Nobody's gonna leave the door open for you. You gotta kick that door down, you gotta put your foot through it and take what's on the other side. And let me tell you something, when you finally got something they thought you'd never have, they start looking at you different. The sheep, they get nervous. The wolves, they start watching. They know a real one when they see one. And if you ain't ready, they'll rip you apart the first chance they get. That's the difference. The wolves, they stay hungry even when they got a belly full. The sheep, they get comfortable. They think just because they got a little bit, they can sit back, relax, let the world take care of them. Nah, that's when the wolves move in, that's when they strike. Do you ever wonder why the ones who got power, real power, never stop moving? Because they know. The second they get soft, the second they start thinking they made it, some other wolf is right there waiting, hungrier than they are, ready to take their place. Hunger is what keeps you alive. You wake up with it, you go to sleep with it, you let it push you when you're tired, when you're beat down, when you feel like you ain't got nothing left. That's when you dig deep. That's when you show what you're made of. Because let me tell you something, life don't give second chances. You mess up, you lose. You stop moving, you die. Simple as that. Ain't no pity out here. Ain't no fairness. The only fairness is what you make for yourself. The only justice is what you take. You think the world cares about you? You think just because you worked hard, just because you played by the rules, they're gonna reward you? Don't make me laugh. Look around. The world belongs to the takers. The ones who ain't afraid to go after what they want. The ones who don't ask for permission. You sit around waiting for someone to give you a break, you'll be waiting your whole damn life. You gotta make your own breaks. You gotta create your own chances. And when that moment comes, when you see it, you better be ready to move. You better be ready to fight. Fighting ain't about throwing punches. Fighting ain't about screaming, about proving a point. That's for fools. Fighting is about strategy. It's about knowing when to strike, when to hold back. It's about patience, about knowing when to bide your time and when to go in for the kill. You see, the sheep, they think fighting is about being loud, about making a scene. The wolves, they know better. They know the best moves are the ones nobody sees coming. They don't waste energy on useless battles. They wait, they stalk, they study their prey. And when they move, they don't miss. You don't just wake up one day and decide you're a wolf. You gotta earn it. You gotta prove it every single day. The second you stop proving it, you stop being it. That's what separates the real ones from the ones just playing pretend. The real ones, they know hunger ain't something you get rid of. It's something you live with. It's something you embrace. It's what keeps you sharp. It's what keeps you moving forward. You ever wonder why the ones who really make it, the ones who build empires, never stop? Because they know. The second they start thinking they got enough, they already lost. You want to win? You want to be more than just another face in the crowd. Another nobody waiting for life to throw them a bone. Then stay hungry. Stay ruthless. Stop thinking somebody owes you something. Nobody owes you nothing. The world don't care about your sob story. It don't care about how hard it's been. It don't care about what you deserve. It only cares about what you take. That's the only thing that matters. That's the only thing that's real. Everything else, just noise. Just excuses for you. You either got the hunger or you don't. And if you don't, you better find it fast. Because out here, it's eat or be eaten. And I don't know about you, but me, I don't plan on being anyone's meal. Not today. Not ever. You think because you got a little taste, you can relax? That's how fools think. That's how losers think. You ever seen a lion stop hunting just because he ate yesterday? Remember, he keeps hunting. He keeps moving. Because hunger don't stop. You either stay on top or you get pulled down. Simple as that. You see it all the time. Somebody makes a little money, gets a little success, and they start acting like the fight is over, like they don't have to grind no more, like they're safe. But nothing is safe. The second you start feeling comfortable, you might as well dig your own grave. Because that's when someone hungrier than you comes along and takes everything you thought you had. You gotta live like you're still starving, like you ain't made it yet. Even when you have, that's the only way to survive. You start thinking you made it, you already lost. You start thinking you can take a break, that you earned some peace. That's when they come for you. And let me tell you something, they will come. You ain't the only one with hunger. There's always another route for it. That's why you gotta keep moving, keep pushing, keep building. You ever wonder why the real players never stop? Why they got more than they'll ever need but still act like they got nothing? Because they know. The second they stop, the second they start thinking it's enough, somebody else takes their place. You want to know why the rich stay rich? Why the powerful stay powerful? Because they don't sleep. They don't waste time feeling satisfied. They keep going. They wake up every day like they're still fighting for their first dollar. Like they're still climbing. Like they got nothing to lose. That's the mindset. That's the way you gotta be. Most people don't get it. They think success is about reaching some point where everything is easy, where they can sit back, enjoy life, stop worrying. But that point don't exist. Not for people like us. Not for the ones who had to claw their way up from nothing. The second you stop fighting, you start dying. Look at the streets. Look at the game. The ones who make it, they don't make it by being soft. They don't make it by waiting for life to be fair. They make it by being ruthless, by being smart, by staying hungry every single day. Even when they got everything, they act like they got nothing. Because that's the only way to make sure no one takes it from them. You gotta understand, life don't care about your past. It don't care what you've been through, how hard it was, how much you think you deserve. It only cares about what you do now, about what you take. You think just because you suffered, because you worked hard, that means you're owed something? Nah. That's not how it works. Life don't owe you nothing. You either take what's yours, or you watch somebody else take it. That's the difference between the wolves and the sheep. The sheep, they sit around waiting for luck, waiting for mercy, waiting for somebody to notice them, to give them a chance. But the wolves, they don't wait, they don't beg, they take, they make their own way. They don't expect a handout, they don't expect fairness, they expect war, and they're ready for it. That's what you gotta be, ready, always. You gotta be willing to do what it takes no matter what. You gotta be willing to go where others won't, to risk what others are too scared to risk. Do you think playing it safe is gonna get you ahead? You think waiting for the right moment is gonna work? Nah, the right moment is now. It's always now. You got a choice. You can be the one who waits, who hopes, who plays by the rules and gets left behind. Or you can be the one who moves, who takes, who does whatever it takes to win. But don't make the mistake of thinking you can have both. You can't be hungry and comfortable at the same time. You gotta pick one. The ones who pick comfort, they lose, maybe not right away, maybe they think they're good for a while, but eventually they fall, they get soft, they get slow, and then somebody hungrier than them comes along and wipes them out. That's the way it works. Always has, always will. You want to survive, you want to be something more than just another nobody, then you gotta live like you got nothing. You gotta stay sharp, stay hungry, stay dangerous. The second you start feeling safe, remind your somebody out there wants what you got. Somebody out there is willing to fight harder than you. Somebody out there ain't sleeping, ain't relaxing, ain't taking a break. And if you're not that somebody, then you're already on your way out. That's the truth. And most people, they don't want to hear it. They want to believe in fairy tales. They want to believe that if they just work hard and be patient, things will work out. But that's a lie. Hard work don't mean nothing if you're not smart about it, if you're not ruthless about it, if you're not ready to take what you work for. So I'll ask you again, are you hungry or are you just pretending? Because if you ain't hungry, if you ain't willing to go all the way, to risk it all, to do whatever it takes to get out of the way, go be a sheep, go live a quiet, safe life. Just don't expect no respect. Don't expect power. Don't expect to be remembered. But if you are hungry, if you got that fire, if you feel it in your gut every damn day, then prove it. Every moment, every move you make, prove it. Stay sharp, stay ruthless, stay ready. And never ever let them think you've had enough. You ever watch a wolf hunt? They don't make noise, they don't bark, they don't waste time showing off. He waits, he watches, and when the time is right, he moves. Fast, precise. No hesitation. That's how you got to be. Most people, they make too much noise. They want to be seen, want to be heard, want people to know what they're about. They don't realize the real power ain't in talking. It's in moving, in taking, in being so damn good at what you do that nobody sees you coming until it's too late. That's the difference between the ones who win and the ones who lose. The ones who lose, they talk, they show off, they waste energy trying to prove something to people who don't matter. The ones who win, they stay silent, they stay focused, they put in the work, they keep their heads down, and when the time is right, they strike. You ever hear the saying, a hungry man don't sleep? That's the truth. When you're hungry, really hungry, you don't waste time dreaming. You don't waste time hoping. You don't waste time waiting. You move. You do what you got to do. Because the second you stop, the second you sit back and think you're safe, that's when it's over. That's when you're done. Look at the people who got power. Not the ones who got lucky, not the ones who were born into it, the ones who built it, the ones who took it. You think they got there by playing nice, by waiting their turn, by hoping life would give them a break? Number. They got there because they never stopped moving, never stopped taking, never stopped fighting. And if you think you can do it any other way, you're lying to yourself. That's why so many people fail. They think hunger is just about wanting something, but it ain't. It's about needing it. It's about not having a choice. It's about knowing that if you don't go after what you want, if you don't fight for it every second of every day, you're gonna lose. You're gonna get left behind. You ever see a man who's truly desperate? He'll do anything. He'll fight like an animal. He'll push himself past limits he didn't even know he had. That's what hunger does. It don't just make you move, it makes you unstoppable. But here's the problem. Most people lose that hunger the second they get a little bit of success. They forget what it felt like to have nothing. To be nothing, they get soft. They start thinking they made it, thinking they're safe. And that's when the real killers, the real wolves, the ones who never stop, come for them. That's why you can't ever lose that hunger. No matter how much you got, no matter how far you come, you gotta wake up every day like you still got nothing. Like you still got something to prove. Because the second you stop proving it, the second you start thinking you're done, you ain't a wolf no more, you're just another sheep waiting to be taken out. The world don't care about yesterday. It don't care about what you did last year, last month, last week. It don't care about your success. It don't care how much you fought to get here. It only cares about right now. About what you're willing to do today. About how bad you still want it. You gotta be the one who never stops, never slows down, never gets comfortable. You gotta be the one who's always 2 steps ahead, always thinking, always moving, always ready. And yeah, it's exhausting. That's the price. That's what it takes. You wanna be something in this world, you gotta be willing to pay for it. And the price ain't cheap. That's the mistake people make. They think they can get to the top and then relax. They think they can put in the work, get what they want, and then take it easy. But it don't work like that. You don't own success, you rent it. And rent is due every damn day. You gotta keep paying, keep grinding, keep proving why you belong at the top. You gotta remind the world every single day why they can't take what's yours. And if you ain't willing to do that, if you ain't willing to fight for every second of every day, then don't bother trying, because you'll lose. You'll get eaten alive. That's what hunger is. It's the thing that keeps you sharp, keeps you moving, keeps you dangerous. And if you ever lose it, if you ever stop feeling that fire, that desperation, then you might as well give up right there, because you ain't gonna make it. You gotta wake up every day like you're still starving, like you're still climbing, like you still got something to prove. Because the second you stop thinking like that, you're done. You ever wonder why some people make it and some don't? Why some people keep winning while others fade away? It ain't luck, it ain't talent, it ain't even intelligence. It's hunger. The ones who make it, they got something inside them that don't let them stop, that don't let them quit, that don't let them slow down. And the ones who don't make it, they get tired, they lose that fire, they get comfortable. They let the world tell them they made it, that they can take it easy now. And then, before they even realize what happened there, nothing, forgotten. That's why you gotta remind yourself, every single day, why you started, why you fought, why you sacrificed. And you gotta make damn sure you never forget it. Because the second you do, the second you let yourself believe you're safe, you're already dead. The world belongs to the ones who never stop moving, never stop taking, never stop fighting. The ones who wake up every single day hungry. So ask yourself, are you still hungry? Or are you just waiting to be replaced? You ever hear somebody say they want it bad? That they're willing to do whatever it takes? Yeah, you hear that a lot. Everybody talks big until it's time to prove it, until it's time to live for it. That's when you see who's real and who's just running their mouth. Most people ain't hungry, they're just pretending. They like the idea of winning, of power, of success, but they don't like the work. They don't like the sacrifice. They don't like the pain that comes with it. They want the glory, but they don't want to suffer for it. That's why they lose. That's why they give up. Because deep down, they ain't got the stomach for it. They ain't built for it. They don't want it bad enough. Not really. You gotta ask yourself, do you? Are you willing to go further than them? Are you willing to hurt more, to push past the breaking point, to do what they want? Because that's the difference. That's what separates the wolves from the sheep. You ever notice how the ones who make it, the ones who really win, they don't complain. They don't sit around talking about how hard it is, how tired they are, how much they have to sacrifice. You know why? Because they don't care. They know that's part of the deal. They know the price, and they're willing to pay it every single day. But the weak ones, the ones who don't belong, they always got excuses, always got a reason why they can't do it, why it's too hard, why they have to stop. And that's fine. Let them quit. Let them give up. That just means more for you. That just means less competition. That's how you gotta see it. Every time somebody gives up, every time somebody decides they don't want it bad enough, that's one less person in your way. That's one more step closer to what you want. But you don't quit. You don't slow down. You don't stop. You keep moving, keep pushing, keep fighting like you got nothing to lose, like you're still starving. That's how you win. That's how you make sure nobody ever takes what's yours. And yeah, it gets lonely, yeah, it gets brutal, yeah, there are nights where you feel like you ain't got nothing left. But that's when you find out who you really are. That's when you see if you got what it takes. Anybody can grind when it's easy. Anybody can stay hungry when they're desperate. But can you keep that hunger when you start winning? When you start getting everything you fought for, can you still wake up every day ready to take more, ready to keep moving forward? Because Let me tell you something, the second you stop fighting, the second you start feeling satisfied, you're already dead. You just don't know it yet. That's when they come for you. That's when the next hungry one steps up and takes what you got. So you got to ask yourself, is that gonna be you? Or are you gonna be the one who stays hungry, who stays dangerous, who never lets them take what's yours? That's the only question that matters. That's the only thing you need to decide, because once you do, once you make that choice, there ain't no going back. You either commit to this life, to this fight, or you get left behind like everybody else who thought they wanted it but never had the guts to go all the way. So what's it gonna be? You're gonna let yourself get soft? You're gonna let yourself lose that fire? Or are you gonna remind the world every single day why they should fear you, why they should respect you, why they should never, ever think they can take your place? Because out here it's war. And the ones who survive, the ones who win, they ain't the ones who had the best start, who had the most chances. They're the ones who refuse to lose, the ones who stayed hungry, the ones who never stopped moving. So make your choice, and make sure you can live with it. Because in the end, there ain't no second chances. There ain't no do-overs. There's only the ones who took what they wanted and the ones who let it slip through their fingers. And I don't know about you, but me, I ain't ever gonna be one of them.